2026 is less than a month away, and I'm sure we've all dreamed of being big influencers, creators, traveling for free, getting millions of dollars worth of sponsorships, working with your favorite brands. But everyone talks about the big desirable outcome. No one talks about the hard path to get there. So today I'm doing an honest, real thought process into becoming a creator by 2026. So I'm going to go through 10 pieces of advice on how you are going to become the creator in 2026. So number one is treat it like a job. So many people think that content creation, influencing is not a job. They think it's too desirable to be considered a real career, and a lot of people think it's too unstable. And so there is a huge discourse online of whether or not creation is a real job. And I would go as far to say it's not a job, it's a business, but that's not the point of this. The point is that you need to treat it like a business and a job, and you need to put in the hours, you need to put in the work and the planning and the admin side to become this creator. So as much as you want to just post your day in the lives and get 1,000 brand deals, the truth is there is a lot of behind the scenes work that needs to happen. You can treat it like a hobby, you can treat it like fun. If you don't want to grow, if you just want to have fun, post occasionally and do what you want, then go for it. This video is not for you. But if you genuinely want to be a creator in 2026, the truth is you are just going to need to post like it's a job. Even if you don't believe that it's a job, even if you think it's a desirable career or that it's not even a business, I don't care if you want it to be a job, if you want it to be a business, you're going to have to treat it like one from day one, even if you're not making a cent, okay? From now on, you were a content creator, you were an influencer, and you are a business owner, because the second you start posting with the intention to be one, you are one. Number two is the famous word that everyone hates, a niche. Everyone hates picking a niche because we have so many layers to us. We are onions. We have so much about us that no one wants to pick one small part of them and make it their whole personality. Now, you can pick multiple things. You can be the niche. But the thing is, you have to pick something consistent. You cannot post one day a car video, an aesthetic car video where you're showcasing a beautiful car, and then the next do a baking video, because the car person's not going to want to follow because they're going to click on your account and see the baking video, and vice versa. And when they click on their account, because a lot of people, you either have to show up on their For You page a few times for them to follow, or they need to click on your account and resonate with something. And if they can't resonate with the baking or you or the cars, because everything is here, there, everywhere, you're never going to get followers, you're never going to get growth, and no one's going to know how to support you because they don't even know who you are to support. So I don't care, you don't have to pick a niche, you don't have to pick a topic, but you need to pick something, and it needs to be consistent. I don't care if the consistency is that you're a girl running a business in her 20s. Like, that's my niche, is I'm literally just a girl running a business in my 20s, and my lifestyle personal behind the scenes account is literally just day in the lives of running an account, running that. And that's what, when you click and follow, it's very clear that I'm a girl in her 20s running a business and how I do it in the behind the scenes of that. Now, that's a lifestyle, that's not educational, that's entertainment, that's purely just behind the scenes insight to my life that not everyone has, right? And so I don't care what it is, but you need to be consistent and you need to pick something, and that can be lifestyle. You just need to figure out what makes you valuable as a lifestyle creator and leverage that and use it, because truthfully, you can post about anything. There's honestly an audience for anything. You need to figure out a gap in that almost, and how you're going to create that and make yourself a valuable part of that community. Just because you've been posting for a year doesn't mean anyone owes you a follow, so you really do need to have some sort of niche or value. And a lot of people want to say, well, I'm just consistent. Consistency is great, and we will talk about consistency, but the truth is you do need to have some value to you, because people are following for value. That can be educational, that can be entertainment. People are going to follow you for something, and just because you've been posting for 2 years does not mean they owe you a follow. It's not like you do it and you get a reward system. It's like you have to do it right to get the reward. Next one is, especially if you are struggling with niches or how to be consistent, pick content pillars. Say you want to post baking, but you also want to post day in the life, and you want to post business content. You do need to have a consistency about you, but you can do this via content pillars. So maybe you are a lifestyle creator and you want to do fashion, but you also want to post day in the life. So maybe day in the life is one of your content pillars. You post a day in the life every single day so people get to know the behind the scenes of you. But then you also post fashion videos and you post get ready with me. Those are your 3 content pillars, and that's what you work off. So yes, you have 3 different individual ideas and different ways of showing your personality, but they're consistent enough to stay, and those are the content pillars. I think content pillars is a great thing to to do. I personally don't use this in my personal account because I do just do it more for fun. But on my educational account, this one here, I do have content pillars. I do budgeting and finance, business, and then social media. Those are like my 3 different things, but they all fall under the category of wanting to succeed and my kind of big message that you want to live a life you love and it can be that easy. That's kind of my like motto. That's my token coin I have, it can be that easy. And it basically just shows you how you can create a life you love and have it be easy. So those are like my 3 content pillars that fall under that category. It's all consistent because usually someone who wants to succeed in life, whether that's business, content creation, or financing, all tend to have the same interests. So I have 3 different content pillars that I'm interested in, but it all falls under the same category. And number 5 is such a big one that so many people fall into, and this is excuses will stop you growing. Like I said, no one owes you a follow. You have to provide that entertainment and consistency for people to follow. And a lot of times people will say, I want to be a creator, but I just don't have the time to post daily. I just don't have the energy. What if people judge me? All these different excuses and reasons to not post, right? And you can have those reasons, you can have those beliefs, you can truly to your core think you're too busy to post, but no one owes you a follow just because you're too busy to post. If you post one video on your TikTok and it's like, I want to be an influencer, but I'm too busy to post, so follow me so I can quit my job and post. No one wants to sign up for that because there are plenty of people who are busy and will still post. So since it is so oversaturated, you really need to let your excuses go and you need to get into it because your sob story, your victim mentality, as much as it might be real, it might be true to you, does not change whether you're going to grow or not. It just does not. So drop the excuses, drop the sad stories, drop the sob story, drop the victimhood, and I'ma just need you to post. I'ma just need you to post no matter what. Do it tired, do it stressed, do it sad. That's a big one, and that one's gonna hit hard, and a lot of people are gonna be like, yeah, you're right, but not even know and not be self-aware enough to realize the victimhood and the sad story they're using on themselves. And you might not have enough time to post, but the truth is you're either gonna have to find that time or give up on content creation because you can't not post because you don't have time and still expect to be a creator. That's just not how that works. And number 6 is I want to talk about how I would personally break down content and different ideas through different content creation websites. So we know there is a lot of social media platforms now. There's Twitter, there's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, like there's so many different ones. What ones do you post on? I personally post on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and I also think Twitter is a good one. It's like LinkedIn for creators. I find that Instagram for me is usually a more polished one. I try and keep my feed pretty polished. And then my TikTok, I just post. It's like throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. And for me, I think it's the best for discoverability. I definitely grow the fastest on TikTok because you're scrolling. If you think about it on YouTube, you can have a 20-minute video. That means you're discovering or you're watching one video per 20 minutes. Whereas on TikTok, you're probably watching 20 videos per 20 minutes. So you were discovering possibly 20 new creators and you could be discovering 5 a minute, depending on how fast you scroll and how quick the reels are. So the discoverability is so much better. So if you want to grow quickly and be discovered quickly, TikTok is your platform. YouTube is my number 1 recommended if you want to grow because YouTube has the most consistent AdSense, the best longevity. It has the best long life on any platform. You can really stay more consistent on YouTube. You can stay more almost like consistently noticed and you can make money quicker, easier, better. And it's also honestly less oversaturated because a lot of people jumped on TikTok as a quick and easy influencer hack growth, but no one really recognizes YouTube. So I think YouTube is such a big one that not a lot of people talk about. So 100% YouTube is the platform I would be getting on, plus pairing it with TikTok to get that discoverability. And then I would spend my time on TikTok promoting my YouTube and I would focus more on making money through YouTube. But honestly, I think it all depends on what you want to do, what your niche is, what your thoughts are. But pick only 2 to 3 platforms is my suggestion and really hammer down. Like you could say, I'm going to post on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all that, and good luck. Especially if you're planning on creating multiple different videos for multiple different platforms. I think for short form, you can usually pick a lot more because you can repost it. Like I just repost my TikToks to my Instagram reels and remove it from my profile front. But with YouTube, you obviously, the repostability is not great. So just think about what ones you want to use, but I would personally recommend sticking to 1 or 2 so you can focus on responding to comments, getting analytics, and creating what's right for those platforms. And on top of that, if I were restarting and my content was all over the place, I would honestly just restart my TikTok and I would spend this month posting every single day in the niche I want to create. And I would post up until 2026, just rapid fire every video I think is interesting in my niche. And then at the end of the month, I would retrack my analytics and I would see what performs well, what do people want to see, what gets followers, what gets engagement, but what gets the most likes, stuff like that. Write down a list of what does really well and then write down a list of what you really enjoyed posting and then correlate the two. And hopefully you'll find kind of a blend between what you want to do and what the consumer wants to see. And then you can write a 90-day content list of things that you want to post for the first 3 months of the year. And then you can hopefully get a good mash of like what you enjoy and what the consumer wants to see. And then you can reevaluate after 90 days or even just after a month, whatever you want to do. That's what I would do, especially analytics wise, because I think the best way to grow is to enjoy it yourself, but also create for the consumer. And if you can find a good mix between both of those things, I think you're sold. And especially if you can figure it out before 2026 even starts, so that way we can really jump right in when 2026 starts. And the biggest key to growth, in my opinion, is you need to master hooks, engagement, and making selfless content. So even if you're a lifestyle creator, how are you creating content that is interesting? I know you want to include every part of your day and you want to talk about all the little intricate details of your life, but truthfully, if you're leveraging something like you're a law student, you're a business owner, really leverage that part of your day and really talk heavily into that. Just find something that the consumer finds interesting. So whether it's educational, entertainment, it doesn't matter, but make it selfless. Like even day in the life, I would recommend starting a day in the life. You want to jump into it, right? So you might want to be like, oh my God, today I almost got hit by a car, or today I woke up and realized I had slept through my entire workday and my boss was ringing me or something. Like you want to think something interesting that makes people go, oh my God, did she get fired? Like today I almost got fired. Today I got hit by a car. Oh my God, this happened today. You want the consumer to be like, I need to know more. It's almost like a FOMO. I think for educational, it's a bit easier because you are just straight creating for the consumer. But with entertainment, it feels a bit harder because people see it as less valuable. But truthfully, you just want to give them FOMO. You want to make them feel like they are missing out on your life, and that is a big deal. So I would 100% recommend starting it interesting. Do not start with, so spend the day with me today. So I started by waking up in the morning and brushing my teeth. Everyone wakes up and brushes their teeth, I would hope. So you want to jump into it. I still like to talk through my day, but I like to start it with something like, oh, I almost threw my phone in the skip bin today. Oh, I missed a house inspection. Oh, I missed my work. I woke up 20 minutes late for work and my boss was ringing me. I thought I was for sure fired. Like you want to just do something. Those are just some examples that like jump into the action. It's almost like a movie. If you start the movie really boring, you're going to turn it off immediately. So you want to jump into that action. So those are 100%. You want to master those hooks, that selfless content, and you want to master the engagement, whether that's making interesting content that people want to engage on or just making sure you are responding to every single comment that comes through. Create a community that likes to talk, likes to comment, likes to have that community. And advice number 9 is every video should offer value. Now, like I said, this can be entertainment, this can be educational, it can be whatever, but if you're watching a video and you're like, this is actually providing absolutely nothing, then you just need to scrap it, truthfully, because if you're like holding up or a video of you drinking an iced latte, what value is that actually offering? Are you sharing the recipe? Are you reviewing it so people know if it's good? Like, what are you actually offering? No one wants to see a video of you just drinking it. They want to know, is it good? How did you make it? Like, they want to know, are you having a funny reaction to it? Is it making you sick? Like, what's happening? We need to know more, because otherwise there's no value offered. And lastly, the number one thing that is going to get you from just being a creator who talks to their phone at home and makes no money and a true full-blown full-time creator is of course the money aspect. We need to talk about it because it is the number one thing that separates you between a successful influencer and not, technically, on a job way. On a job basis. I don't think this separates you between making good content and bad content or being a true influencer and not. I think this is really just what separates you between being a full-time creator and not being one. And yes, so money. I think a lot of people wait on AdSense and a lot of people wait on like, hopefully one day they'll get paid by TikTok, or it's all the easy passive ways that they can make money from doing what they're already doing. But you need to switch on a little bit more. Think like a business person, like I said. There is so many ways to make money, and I think you really need to figure out some ways. So for example, Amazon affiliate or any affiliate is a really good one, especially if you already like something. So for example, this light that is lighting up my face right now is a ring light from Amazon that I love. I could link it below, link it to an Amazon link. If you want to purchase it for yourself, I'll get a small commission. You know, I could do something like that. Or I could have digital products. I have some free digital products and I have some paid digital products. You buy a digital product, it supports me directly. So you could do something like that as well. Not to mention that only requires you advertising it or you getting paid for it. It doesn't require another platform saying whether you have enough followers to do that or not. Another one is sponsorships. You can always cold reach out to brands, or you can wait until you have enough followers for them to do it. Whatever. UGC is great if you really love making content and you love talking about brands, doing brand reviews, you think you're really interesting and have a great eye for marketing. UGC is you reach out to brands and you make content for their accounts. This also makes really great money. Of course, there's also AdSense, but there's memberships. There's so much. You can have businesses. You can sell things off the side. Like, there is 1,000,001 ways to make money as a creator, and so many people think the creator economy is like dying and there's no way to make money and it's too oversaturated and it's so unreliable. But the truth is, it's only as unreliable as you let it be. Obviously, you have to be liked, you have to have eyes on your content, but there are so many more ways to monetize. So really brainstorm how you're planning on monetizing your content, because the average really successful creator makes, I promise you, like the smallest portion from AdSense. So really think about that. But if you do all these tips, I guarantee you by 2026, the end of 2026, you will see significant growth and hopefully be a full-time creator. Let me know if you have any other tips and tricks that I left out of this video. Make sure to go to the description because I have my ring light there. Like I said, I have a ton of things there for you, including digital products that will really help you, like my content calendar I use, my budgeting tracker I use, tons of stuff over on my Ko-Fi. And make sure to subscribe because you will see videos like this a ton throughout 2026 to help you guys succeed in life, because it is that easy. Okay, bye.